Hey everybody, so right there you can see an empty flat deck trailer, and that can only mean one thing. I'm on my way to pick up a new test unit for TFLoffroad. But this video isn't about that, it's about my tow vehicle. Now right here is a 2019 Chevy Traverse, and normally for a job like this, I would go grab a pickup truck, but big crossovers like this have some serious towing credentials these days, and I want to put them to the test. So in this video, we'll see how the Traverse tows, we'll see how easy it is to hook up a trailer, we'll see how much it squats when you do hook up a trailer, so stay tuned. Okay, time to hook up our 2,000-pound flat deck trailer, and I want to measure the squat here. So the Traverse is already in place, trailer's ready to be lowered, but there's no weight on it yet. So we're gonna go from center of the tire, right up here, and it's pretty much exactly 3 feet. 36 inches, 3 feet. Now let's go ahead and lower the trailer and see what it comes down to. Alrighty, time to hook this guy up. So first of all, I'm gonna reach over here and crank her down. Okay, so then when it comes time to actually do the light hookups and the chains here on the Traverse, a lot of crossovers and SUVs are like this nowadays. The hitch is hidden up in the bumper. So there's a plastic cover that comes right here that you take off when you want to tow with it. And you know what, for the most part, everything's accessible. It's a little tougher than a pickup truck because it's buried in the bumper, but you can still get to everything. And what's really nice is that GM actually has the 7-pin connection right from the factory on this thing. So no adapters needed for a big trailer like this, which certainly wasn't the case not that long ago. Crossovers and SUVs for the longest time just had the little 4-pin. It was just trucks with the 7, but that has definitely changed as well. There we go, it's all hooked up. Now we'll go measure the squat. Let's measure. The Traverse has not moved. Right to the center. And it's dropped exactly an inch. It's at 36 inches, 3 feet. Now it's down at 35 inches. So exactly 1 inch of droop once we get this 2,000-pound trailer on. Well, everybody, we made it to our destination, and that is Honda, Canada. And now let's take a look at what we just picked up. Ho-ho, I'm excited. Yes, sir. That is a 2019 Honda Talon 1000X, and I'm gonna review this thing for TFLoffroad. For now, we're all loaded up with our Traverse. Now, this Talon weighs in at just under 1,500 pounds, so my total trailer weight here is about 3,500 pounds, and the attitude of this Traverse is nice and flat. I did switch the hitch out for just regular tongue because I did not need the height I thought I needed. But yeah, right, so far the Traverse has been pulling the empty trailer fine. Now we got a bit of weight on there. Let's go see how it feels. Okay, everybody, just left Honda, so I want to give you my very first impressions on towing with this Traverse. Now, first of all, right out the gate, the V6 feels all right. There isn't a ton of power here. It's definitely working a lot harder now that the load is on back there. There is one saving grace though, and that is tow haul mode. Now, of course, tow haul is something very common in pickup trucks. It's been around for the longest time, but in crossovers like this, not a lot of them have tow haul, so it's nice to see it here. And essentially what it's doing is it's keeping the revs up, it's locking out my top gear to make sure you are always in the power band, and it actually, in this vehicle, makes a significant difference. We have a 9-speed automatic here in the Traverse, and I want to see exactly how well it downshifts. So I'm cruising along right now, at about 110 kilometers an hour, and I am just gonna bury my foot, and let's see how fast it downshifts. So foot to the floor. Oh, and it jumps up to 6,000 RPM from a cruising RPM of about 3 grand. And it jumped up quickly, and that was 2 shifts. That was 2 downshifts, boom, boom, to get me up there. Oh, actually, that was 3 downshifts. I just watched it upshift 3 times. So it actually jumps around quite quickly, this transmission, and I can't really feel it doing it, which is exactly what you want. You want the transmission to work nicely in the background and give you the power when you want it, and that's exactly what it's doing here. Okay, everybody, I'm sitting here at another stoplight, and I'm about to take off. This gives me the chance to talk about 2 things. First of all, start-stop is quite smooth. So yeah, the Traverse does have a start-stop system, and the engine coming back on, really nice and quiet and muted. Start-stop systems are getting really good these days, and the one here in the Traverse is quite good. Now, there's another thing I want to talk to you about, and it's why I would recommend getting all-wheel drive if you're going to be towing, and that is torque steer. So this Traverse is front-wheel drive based. Now, when you're in two-wheel drive mode or front-wheel drive mode, there is some definite torque steer when you take off. And back there, I was making a left-hand turn, so I began to accelerate into my turn, and about halfway through the turn, you suddenly feel this extra pressure on the wheel, and it kind of pulls you a little bit. It's just not something you want to feel when you're towing a trailer. It is not confidence inspiring. So on the next takeoff, what I just did right there, I went ahead and put it over into four-wheel drive mode to make sure that power is being split to all wheels. That made a huge difference. It didn't totally eliminate the torque steer because this thing is still front-wheel drive based, but you could definitely feel that the vehicle was just more in control and was less unpredictable in four-wheel drive. And that's actually the beauty of tow haul mode as well. So you have two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you have an off-road mode here in the Traverse, and then you have tow haul. Well, tow haul will essentially make the all-wheel drive more sensitive. So the second it feels a big ask for power, it's gonna send the power to all four wheels regardless of whether you're slipping or not. So in tow haul mode, you're also gonna get the four-wheel drive you need to help you get off the line and help things feel secure, but then you're gonna get the two-wheel drive once you're cruising on a highway like this to make sure you're getting maximum fuel economy. So now I want to talk about some of the Traverse alternatives and why this crossover does start to look pretty attractive. So keeping it in the GM portfolio, if you were to go full-size SUV, like a Chevy Tahoe, you're going to get more towing capability, you're going to get a bigger engine, you're also going to get way more weight, and it's going to suck way more fuel. So that's sort of the disadvantage to one of those big SUVs. Now, the other alternative is, of course, a pickup truck. So with this kind of load, you're probably talking about a mid-size pickup, and in a Canyon or Colorado, you are just straight up not getting the space that you have in this Traverse. Sure, you get the bed out back, but here I have 3 rows of seats, and the rear ones can fold, so you really do get quite a bit of storage space. So yes, both the truck and the SUV are gonna pull this load a little bit better. They're gonna feel a little bit better, they have more power, so overall the towing experience will be better. But it's all about how heavy your trailer is, I think. So this Traverse is rated at 5 grand. If you're pulling 5,000 pounds, you're pushing this little crossover. I wouldn't pull 5,000 pounds with this Traverse regularly. But if you're at a weight that I'm at, 3,500 pounds, and also the type of trailer clearly makes a difference. Here I have a flat deck with just a side-by-side on it, so I'm not getting knocked around by the wind, anything like that. But just weight-wise, 3,500 pounds, maybe even 4 grand, that's where I'd say the limit of this Traverse is. You don't want to go much more than that, and if you are doing more than that, you're gonna want to go look at one of those 2 other alternatives. Another thing I want to look at is, if towing is a priority for you, which one of these large 3-row crossovers is going to offer the best tow rating? So right now, I will throw that information up on the screen. Okay, everybody, I'm almost at my destination, and there's one more thing I want to talk about because we do get asked this a lot. It is unibody versus body on frame for towing. And the very simple answer is there's no difference. When it comes to day-to-day driving, dynamically stopping power, pulling power, you're not gonna feel any difference between a unibody and a body on frame. Now, it just so happens that the only body-on-frame vehicles on the market these days are pickup trucks and SUVs, so inherently they have better tow ratings than unibody vehicles, but that is not going to be a major factor in how the vehicle tows. Where that will come into play though is with long-term longevity. Body on frame is gonna last a little bit longer, at least it should, because you're only stressing the frame rather than with a unibody vehicle where you're putting stress on the entire body of the vehicle. So certainly do not let the fact that this is a unibody crossover scare you away from towing weight with it, because this Traverse today has done a really nice job of handling this talent. After spending a day with this Traverse, I think I've got it figured out. So if you own a toy, say a side-by-side, maybe an ATV, a boat, a small travel trailer, this crossover is going to tow them confidently and safely every single day. Now, if you want to push the tow rating, yeah, you probably want to go pickup truck, but there's something the Traverse has that a pickup doesn't, and that is, of course, 3 rows, so you can fit in the whole family and pull your boat and head to the lake for the weekend. Now, as always, guys, make sure you go below, leave a comment, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and then come right back here to TFL for the latest news, views, and real-world reviews. I pulled the talent all the way up here, and it's time to go have some fun, so if you'll excuse me.